Um, Pick your path is what came through now. Choose your path moving forward. I think when I was younger, there was this created image of reality of what life is in my mind. Now I sit here with a bit more of an understanding of how it really works and how I want to be approaching it. First of all, like, I'm very young, so there's a lot of freedom in so many different ways. But I feel like when you practice meditation and when you actually seek these things, which I've been doing since a young age, stuff really starts to come to the surface. What you want to be doing with your life really becomes clear. How you want to be spending your time really becomes clear. Why you want to be doing it as well. All of these answers to your questions really come to the surface. And so I can just sit here and just go into space and be like, okay, this is what I want, 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 and be crystal clear about it and not really be affected. Many times people are like, no, you have to go out into the world and do stuff. You have to go out into the world and do stuff. And then I've done it many times, and then you go out and every time it just ends up being the same feeling. Every single time you do stuff, it just ends up being the same feeling. Um, for example, I had this idea in my mind, like, to go to Cape Town, live in Cape Town for a while. It's a big city. Um, Even that just had the same thing. In fact, I didn't enjoy that as much because it was in the city, right? So I feel like us as people, we have a few things that are very important. You have to have something that keeps you going, right? Something that motivates you, something that pushes you every single day. A purpose, a reason for being, right? And a lot of the times we don't know why, but we have to find it. Create a purpose. Life is much more complex, because you are not just in surrender, right? You want to enjoy your life experience as well. So you're not just surrendering to God, for example. You want to live your life in a certain way because you know yourself better than anyone else or anything else. So yeah, another thing is the fact that so I've been sitting on this literally for a while now. Meditation and rest, and how if you become very sensitive in any way, you open your mind, you open your psychic energies, like you just enlighten yourself. This will become part of you, meditation and rest, and you'll see, like, there's hours, so many, like, if I now as a 22-year-old look at my life, I'm gonna spend hours in restful states and meditation, to the point of, like, I'm not even looking at that anymore. I'm literally just looking at it day to day. But I know for a fact I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours and hours, and I'm going to be more in that state of mind. Because once you see these things, you cannot go back, because these things increase your life so much. So, and it expands your life so much because you become stiller, more sensitive, all of these things. So, think about this as a lifestyle. Some way you create a space for yourself, you create this for yourself where you can go and be in your meditation the whole time until there's some sort of an action that arises. So if you're not acting with intention, you are literally resting. There's no questioning needed, so you're not spending your time questioning about anything. There's no questioning needed. It's a consistent happening. So this is weird because this is also living like this is very, in a certain way, which makes it difficult for other areas of your life, right? Because if you just know what you're doing the whole time, how is it possible for magic, right? It's a good feeling. Magic is a good feeling. And we can take so much control in our lives that we don't even notice what we are lacking, right? We can literally fill our days from top to bottom and be doing stuff the whole fucking day without realizing what we are missing out on in just being human. And I think that's part of the world right now. It's like this morning I was like, people have explored everything, right? The where humanity is, there's a certain understanding that you have to have, right? People have pretty much explored every single thing. Most things, right? There are more things to come to the surface, but in terms of digging and exploring and all of these different things, people have found most of the stuff. Most information, you know? And now it's about creating. Now it's about creating. Now it's about, seeing what you can do with the knowledge that already is there, you know? We've accumulated all the knowledge on all of this. Great. Now what do you do with it? Now it's about creating. What am I creating with what I'm doing? And it's about, yes, you find that perfection. Let's say you spend your life trying to find perfection in some way, shape, or form, and this doesn't have to do anything with anyone else. You're just building a lifestyle towards your idea of what perfection is. But what if that ends and you realize like you're never going to be perfect in that way? What do you do? Where do you go? Because now the world is literally, you've been in this way and you affected the world in such a way where everyone started to do what you're doing, right? Everyone started to chase this perfect image. Everyone started to be like this. So what is the purpose now? Well, I feel like just to be normal, right? What does normal life mean? Yesterday it came to me, what if everyone was just like, fuck it, let's just fucking be human again. Let's just be human. Let's be fucking, let's be fucking human being. And see what comes from it, We see fighting and we are so obsessed with, cultivating peace in the world and cultivating all of these perfect little words. We try to become these perfect beings and stuff like that. Yet the feeling inside of us is that we are more imperfect, right? The more perfect you become externally, the more imperfect it seems, right? The more imperfection you're going to notice. If life is just being what life is, then there's no imperfection. Then there's no such thing as imperfection. It's just joy for life, right? And the meaning is so clear. You go into a deep state of questioning. What is the meaning of life? It's not that. The meaning is clear, right? Life is happening. There's a natural, you are part, as you sit here, you are part of the natural cycles. You are part of nature. You are part of your family. You are interconnected with the world around you. So there's no this or this, right? This whole thing where we are able to separate ourselves, become an individual, and then become perfect in our own eyes. For some reason, we fucking try to escape. That's okay. But yeah, that just to be human, I feel like is what we need more of. Unless you become genuinely liberated. That's what I was looking for. Unless you genuinely become liberated and you don't need that anymore. You genuinely you're not fulfilled by that, and then you take the steps, and then you start to walk your own journey. Be like, okay, I don't need anything from this world anymore. I have enough. I had enough. I don't want anything here. And then you leave it, and then you go live like some other way.